Jesus was brought to the world to save man from himself, although he was not accepted by man. When the king of Israel heard of the birth of a new king, he had every child born around that time slain to keep a thumb on the God-fearing rebels waiting for deliverance. As a child, Jesus was kept hidden so he could grow and learn more about human nature. He had to live among men to see why the children of God were oppressed. God protected his Son until the time he was to give his own life for our sins. God was born among his own, but was treated with indifference. Yet with this, God still showed mercy towards those who accepted him regardless of those who tried to defame the name of God. The Son of God's parents were specifically chosen for his birth. God protected the birth and the childhood of his offspring. From birth Jesus knew his fate, he knew and was prepared to die for the sins of man. That was his calling. Man did not deserve this grand gesture, but God loved his people and wanted us to win his favor, although many never deserved this precious gift. During the travels of the chosen families, many had proven their unworthiness in God's eyes, so these families were left alone to fend for themselves until the new generations found favor with God. There have been many occurrences when God decided these people are just not worthy of his kingdom, and I truly believe that in some instances certain generations of families are not worthy to live among the children of God. Man is still guilty of prejudgment, and there will be many more families sharing the same fate as past generations. There is continued hatred towards a people born of the African Anglo heritage, a mixed race with no home, the Afro nation. The world has tagged these people as a bad, corrupt, uneducated, backward and undeserving race of people, and we are treated with less dignity than a pig in first class on an airplane. I say because our current president, who is of the Afro nation, has no respect as the head of these free United States. He has been labeled the scapegoat for all that's wrong in our government. The government is blaming our president for bullshit that happened before his terms in office. They are painting him as the bad guy in all the horrible decisions the government's made before his terms in the Oval Office. He has not been given a fair chance to act out any new plans or policies devised to help our country. The perception was our president would fill the White House with rappers and only do things for the Afro nation. Contrary to those beliefs, our president stopped the wild parties and unnecessary spending behind White House doors. Opposition is trying to find something to discredit our president, and they can't find anything. They are inventing crap to push on him, but they are proven the idiot. The Obama healthcare plan was put into force to help low-income families afford insurance coverage, but the outcry from the insurance world of them losing their profit and possibly lowering their premiums made their government officials counteract the Obamacare Act. This healthcare act is an extension of Medicaid, helping to serve more of the lower-income families. Hospitals provide care even if the patient is underinsured. They then report this in their tax information and allowed a huge write-off which cost the government lots of money. The government has been wasteful and allocating money for ridiculous causes, yet they frowned on Obamacare because President Obama stopped their frivolous spending. A young Afro child was gunned down by a part-time Hispanic security officer who has had multiple run-ins with the law, who got off with no time served and patted on the back by the KKK, a racist supremacy group, leaving a family torn apart. A son is lost and our justice system gave no support to the family who lost their child to a trigger-happy racist prick. One of the most popular women on television, Oprah Winfrey, was refused an item of purchase because of her natural origin, and that's plain silly. The person didn't know who she was, which leads to the fact that she was refused because of her race. We suffer this abuse on a daily basis, and our government is treating a member of their own boys' club the exact same way. So tell me, how is that leadership? A football player is forever condemned because he was affiliated with salty people, people he trusted, people who turned their backs on him when shoved against the wall. People to this day are calling him an animal killer, and he had nothing to do with the activities, he just rented out the property, yet he's the killer. This is because our free country looks for any reason to rain on our parade. They do not want the Afro nation to rise above the bureaucratic backward thinking, and they are slowly convincing us as a people to buy into their lies, to believe we are worth nothing. The truth is, every natural origin have their bottom feeders, some worse than others, but they are not singled out like the Afro nation. They even describe us as a dark, Dirty color, the dictionary definition is, lacking hue and brightness, absorbing light without reflecting any of the rays composing it. Characterized by absence of light, enveloped in darkness, a black night. Sometimes initial capital letter, pertaining or belonging to any of the various populations characterized by dark skin pigmentation, specifically the dark-skinned peoples of Africa, Oceania, and Australia. African hyperlink http://dictionary.reference.com/browse/African%20 American hyperlink http://dictionary.reference.com/browse/African%20 American. Soiled or stained with dirt, that shirt was black within an hour. Gloomy, pessimistic, dismal, a black outlook. This is not a description of a people, however there are many who subscribe to this definition by their actions. Not all are bottom feeders, just like not all Anglos are honkies and Yankees, not all Hispanics wetbacks, not all Asians are chinks. These are the slang words used to describe those bottom feeders of these natural origins. The Afri-Glo nation is the only group of people who are treated as a whole like the bottom feeders. Our natural origin has been condemned and the government has turned their back by openly participating in the degradation of our natural origin.